Let me tell you a story. When I was a young man, say in my early 20s or just before, my friend, my girlfriend, his girlfriend, and maybe one or two others, we all went out on a boat ride. So my friend is very persuasive, and he was able to persuade the owner of a boat, a hire company, that he had the experience to take this motorized sort of 20-foot wooden dinghy out for some fun. So long story short, we're all on this boat, we're across to one of the other beaches, and we had our sort of stuff with us, our prized possessions, whatever they were. And we went to a hidden little cove. It was very nice. I think we were going to have like a fire and, maybe just chill out and mess about on this cove. So my friend apparently had rented boats before and knew what he was doing. We go to this cove, we beach the boat, we start making camp and chilling out and listening to some music, things like this. But the long story short is that my friend mistimed the tide times and we got a bit stranded. We tried for like a couple of hours trying to push this boat back out and drag the boat, but because it was like a 20-foot motorized wooden boat, it was extremely heavy, and between the three or four of us lads and the I don't know, three or four girls, we couldn't push it back into the water, so the boat was stranded. My friend in his infinite wisdom said, me and the other guy we'll clamber up the rocks of this cliff and we'll go back and phone for help. This was before sort of mobile phones and the internet, so sort of late 90s, something like that. So they clamber up, and a few hours later, as you'd expect, he manages to get help. And the next thing I knew, there was Royal National Lifeboat Institute, RNLI, comes up, this rescue boat comes up, drags us all out, say, yeah, you got to swim out to the boat, get out to the boat, we got to get you on the boat. I was like, well, what about all our stuff? Hey, yeah, it's fine, we'll come back for it later. Just get on the boat, get on the boat. So we all sort of went out and swam out to the boat, got on, and then got taken back to the lifeboat station, given blankets and hot chocolate, and you're safe now, you're safe now. And I remember thinking, well, I was alright, I could have climbed up the cliff. It was only my friend that said I had to stay here with the girls and, our possessions. And the lifeboat people, for obvious reasons, just said get in the boat and took us back, to safety, which is right. But I remember thinking, how did he come out of this looking like a hero, and the rest of us were all sorrowful youngsters made a fool and made ourselves look like a fool, and he was a hero. He was the one with his friend that climbed the rocks and got us saved, And I can't help thinking, wow, how did he turn that around? Anyway, so that's the story of my friend. He's still a friend now, and he's still just as full of stories and other adventures. A crazy, crazy guy, but a lot of fun. Being confident and fun to be around is an attractive trait. And I used to wonder why my friend had so many girls trying to be friends with him and hang around with him and spend time with him, and even his mum, they would try and be friends with his mum. And I couldn't understand why they all wanted to be around him. And it's because he was confident and he was fun. He had a lot more notches on his bedpost than I had none. And I really didn't understand it at the time. Will Smith in the film Hitched in whatever year that was, 2005, highlights the fact that being cheeky is a combination of being a little bit rude, risque, but being fun and sincere at the same time. Is a very attractive trait. Even some of the fondest memories recorded, they say, of Albert Einstein was of him being cheeky and silly. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, which you can see is apparent. Also, I didn't have a chiseled chin and no great big muscles. So being fun and risque and a little bit cheeky can really level up your game and make it a bit easier to connect and meet somebody that you're interested in. There are actually lots and lots of studies that conclude that being cheeky and funny really do help with your mental health, with longevity, and with relationships in general. So that begs the question, how to be cheeky, how to be funny, how to break the ice and connect with that person. So here are 5 ways to connect with somebody or be a little bit cheeky or funny. Alright, so the first one is a backhanded compliment. Works best if you know the person a little bit, but it could sound something like, "Oh, you look beautiful. That reminds me, I must go to the opticians next week." Second one, lie. Compliment somebody about their wardrobe. Maybe say, "Oh, that's an amazing tie," when it might not be. A third one would be learn a few good stories or jokes. Something simple, but maybe a little bit risque and cheeky. Maybe if it has a euphemism or double entendre. But like I said, be careful. I wouldn't recommend doing this in a workplace. Number 4, learn some impressions of some famous people. Maybe a Mr. Bean impression or a Dirty Harry impression, something like that. And number 5, practical joke props. You know, like ketchup, where it's just a bit of red string, or I don't know, a flower that you squirt and water comes out. Some sort of practical joke that's quite funny and low intensity, because that's the idea of this cheekiness and humor, is to break the ice and reduce the intensity, make things a bit easier and a bit more human and relaxed. All right, so that's my 5. I am thankful for laughter, except for when milk comes out of my nose. Quote by Woody Allen. To tell a joke or a story to a group of people comes at a small risk of humiliation. Likewise, asking somebody out for a date, for a coffee. But we know it outweighs the reward of the risk. There is an obvious attraction of risk takers. Just take, for example, Elon Musk or Richard Branson. They've taken risks, they're cheeky, they're smiley, they're sincere, and it goes a long way. I have a question for you. Would you rather die at 90 years old, full of regret? Or would you rather die at 65, doing one of the crazy adventures that you're known for? What would you say? My call to action is this. What can you bring to the people around you, in your community or your family, to make them smile, make them happy, make them remember you, or just make their day a little bit better? What can you bring? That's it. That's all I ask. What do you bring? A new house today, just dog sitting and looking after the house whilst the people are away on holiday. So let me know what you think. You like the decor?